All right, so we're going to define what coterminal angles are. The definition says that two angles are coterminal if one is equal to an integer multiple of 360 degrees or 2 pi plus the other. An integer means basically any whole number that's positive or negative. So no fractions or decimals. So if you can find any whole number or negative whole number that's multiplied to 360 or 2 pi, which is our x in this case, and you can multiply that to 360 or pi and add it to one of the other angles, or one of the angles, it will equal the other angle. So, in other words, we're saying if you look at a picture of an angle, let's say our terminal side is here for our first angle. We rotate this much. A coterminal angle would be one that travels all the way around 360 degrees or 2 pi. It's a complete rotation, and then it continues and ends up at the exact same terminal side. Both of these angles share the terminal side, therefore they are coterminal, even though one of the angles rotated 360 degrees or 2 pi extra. So with that, we can use either of these formulas, theta 1 plus 360x equals theta 2, or theta 1 equals 2 pi x equals theta 2, to say if you plug in your two angles, it doesn't matter where you plug them in, theta 1 or theta 2, and solve for x in either formula. If you get an integer for x, then your angles are coterminal. If you do not get an integer, you get a decimal or a fraction, then they are not coterminal. So with that in mind, let's look at this example. We have 110 degrees and 830 degrees. Let's decide if these two angles are or are not coterminal. So we'll go ahead and call this one theta 1 and this one theta 2. Again, it doesn't matter which one you pick. If we plug them into our formula, we have 110 degrees for theta 1 plus 360 degrees times x equals theta 2, which will be 830 degrees. Now we want to solve for x in this formula. So if we subtract 110 degrees from each side of the equation, we'll get 360x equals 720 degrees. If we divide each side of the equation by that 360 degrees, to get x alone, we'll get x equals 720 over 360 is 2. So what does that tell us? 2 is an integer, therefore 110 degrees and 830 degrees are coterminal angles. Meaning they share a terminal side, just like this picture here. Although, in this case, rather than rotating around once, we have two rotations. X tells you the number of extra rotations, meaning this angle, 830 degrees, would have rotated one extra time around, making it still a coterminal angle finishing at the same terminal side.